all day, mushers finally made it here.
For coverage of the John Beargrease Sled Dog Marathon, you turn to the only station with reports from the trail.
Mushers made a stop at Sawbill.
Eyewitness Sports' Laura Kennedy tracked your favorite musher in the sub-zero temps.
Here at the Devil's Track checkpoint,
award-winning photojournalist Carl Sauer followed these amazing athletes and their dogs during the grueling trek.
Schroeder says it's good training for the Iditarod.
Eyewitness Sports on the Northland Sports Leader. Get out and play.
About 20 hours after they started the race in Duluth, the first mid-distance mushers arrived here at the finish line in Tofty around 9 o'clock Monday morning.
We had 3 thin-haired dogs on the team, and they had jackets, boots, and a couple belly bands on them to keep the core warm. The other guys were fuzzy, and they didn't have a problem.
It's pretty miserable, and I mean, my eyelashes froze shut a couple times, but other than that, it is always a good time.
Meanwhile, the first marathon mushers checked in here at Sawbill around the same time.
Oh, it wasn't too cold last night, but the wind was terrible. I'm gonna have to rethink it, I guess, right here. I'm gonna kind of regroup and go out, I'll go out smiling, I guess.
After battling the wind and cold all day, mushers finally made it here to Trail Center on Monday night.
Like if something's bothering them, anything, the cold or something with their booty on their foot and stuff, we can tell and they let us know right away and we just take care of it right away.
After a grueling night and around 50 below wind chill, mushers crossed this frozen lake to arrive here at the Devil's Track checkpoint on Tuesday morning, a little later than expected.
Yeah, going across Devil's Track, whoa. It couldn't even, the visibility was pretty good, but it was still gusty, and yeah, it was bad. Dogs didn't really care for it, jumping drifts and trying to find the trail.
Late Tuesday afternoon, mushers made a stop at Sawbill before that final push toward the finish line.
Dog mushers and sled dog race volunteers are some of the toughest folks you'll find. There's no such thing as cold weather, only bad clothes.
Just after 1 o'clock on Wednesday, Nathan Schroeder crossed the finish line here in Duluth to become a 3-time champion. Out of all the Beargrease races he's finished, he says this one was the toughest.
The other ones were a breeze compared to this one. Mother Nature really disrupted this race. But I signed up for it, and knowing that this could happen, and it did. So I wasn't gonna back off.
One benefit of those frigid conditions, Schroeder says it's good training for the Iditarod in March. In Duluth, I'm Laura Kennedy for Eyewitness Sports.
As the Beargrease marathoners continue up the trail tonight, exposure to sub-zero temperatures is a concern for both mushers and their dog teams. Laura Kennedy reports from the Sawbill checkpoint.
The Sawbill checkpoint means 4 hours of rest and a mandatory vet check. Vets are looking for signs of injury, and with temperatures hovering around 18 below, they're also looking for signs of frostbite.
They're really well covered in their own fur coat, so they're much better prepared than we are, but there are areas of the body that have a lot less fur, and so we pay attention to those.
It's pretty windy out. I don't know, temperatures ain't jiving with my dog team this year. Oh, it wasn't too cold last night, but the wind was terrible. That really made it difficult.
If it's severe frostbite, sometimes they'll actually leave them with the vet team, so leave them here. And then it's a matter of just keeping the area protected and giving the body some time to heal it. So get it warm and reestablish circulation.
With conditions expected to be pretty similar for the rest of the race, mushers will be keeping a close eye on their team. On the trail, I'm Laura Kennedy for Eyewitness Sports.
It is day 2, and the first champion has been crowned at the 30th running of the John Beargrease Sled Dog Race, this one in the mid-distance events. Laura Kennedy and photojournalist Carl Sauer were there, and they have more.
Just after 9 o'clock this morning, the first mushers arrived at the mid-distance finish here in Tofty. Ross Fraboni of Two Harbors was the first to cross the finish line, his first victory in just his second Beargrease race.
Really good to win the race. This was very, very difficult. Yeah, the dogs did really great. We just sunk into a rhythm early. I'm really, really happy right now.
It was just kind of, muscle through everything I could. And I kind of said to the dogs while I was out on the trail, I was like, you guys give me everything you got, I'll give you everything I got. I was cramping up like crazy because I was running and pulling and everything else, so it was just a lot of work. That was my plan.
Everyone is always going to be different. I still enjoyed it a lot. I love the Beargrease. It's really fun.
The dogs didn't seem to be affected by the weather too much. Mushers say the wind and cold got a bit difficult at times, so they were happy to see the finish line. In Tofty, I'm Laura Kennedy for Eyewitness Sports.
The 30th running of the John Beargrease Sled Dog Marathon has a new leader tonight. Mushers and volunteers alike are battling brutal conditions out there to finish the iconic Northland race. Laura Kennedy brings us an update from Sawbill Checkpoint.
Checkpoint. It's an undeveloped site, and most of the volunteers camp out and spend a lot of time here. Also, the mushers have to provide service to their dogs without the assistance of their handlers on the upbound leg, and so it's interesting to observe that and to be a part of that.
Nathan Schroeder was the first to arrive here at Sawbill about 4:30 this afternoon. We'll hear from him coming up during Eyewitness Sports.
It is a battle between former champions as Chisholm's Nathan Schroeder and Ray's Keith Eiley are racing towards another Beargrease title, but only one can win. Eiley had the lead last night, but Schroeder was the first to the Devil Track checkpoints this morning and the Sawbill checkpoint near Tofty this afternoon around 4:30 p.m. Schroeder is a two-time champion, including last year. He still has 10 dogs running. Eiley has 11. Schroeder says his dogs are doing well. Laura Kennedy caught up with the race leader.
It was beautiful through the woods. It actually felt like it warmed up. It warmed up because the wind was cut back. I'll take off about 8 o'clock and I'll head to Two Harbors, and that's going to be a long run. Be a cold, long run. I'm guessing 8 to 9 hours. 4:30 I'll get to Two Harbors. So yeah, it's going to be cold. That gravel pit is cold.
With only 3 checkpoints left, the mushers are making their way towards the finish line. Tune into Eyewitness News on Wednesday for full coverage of the Beargrease finish. On the trail, I'm Laura Kennedy for Eyewitness Sports.